And here we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. It is Saturday, and yes, we have another property tour for you today. Hey, my name is Keith Jones, and the guy who put all of this together, Scott Buckle. Scott, thank you for putting this together. But you know what? Before we go any further, I want to make sure first everybody can hear me and see me. So if you don't mind, if you're just coming on board, put in the chat where you're from. That would be really awesome. The reason why we like to ask that, one, we like to know where you're coming from. Two, you get to ask questions. This is a live meeting, so you can put things in the chat. We ask for everybody to stay muted, and so that way our featured investor can share the information. She is busy, she's in action, a lot of things going on today. It's an awesome Saturday. So let me just look real quick. So we got folks coming from Michigan, Chicago, all the way from Utah, wherever our investors from. Vienna, Virginia. Hey, we got Atlanta ATLs in the house. Washington, D.C.'s here. Tennessee showing up. Cincinnati, Kentucky's here. Northern Virginia. Seattle, Washington. Hey, we got Canada showing up. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Another Chicago, Utah. Virginia's here. New York, by the way, of Brooklyn is showing up today. So, hey, thank y'all for showing up. As more people start to come in, you get to ask questions today. And then you know what? Right when I was about to turn it over, Pittsburgh showed up and said, "Hey, represent." So Pittsburgh is definitely here. So that's really awesome. So we got some folks from all over the United States. Scott here, that's here. I'm really excited. Before we get started, because the way things going to go today, if you're here today and this is your first time here, tell the person who invited you to this meeting, thank you. Just go ahead and communicate with them right now because you don't want to hear all this great information and forgot, to tell them thank you for inviting you to this meeting because you're going to learn so much. It's going to be really awesome. Hey, Scott, we still got some more people coming in, but I know we're ready to get started. So, Scott, I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
Well, Keith, thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, my friend.
Oh, wonderful. Well, good morning, everybody. It is April 26th, and we have a fantastic property tour lined out for you today, coming all the way from the Salt Lake City, Utah markets. We love doing these every Saturday where we get to feature and highlight and let the investors share their story and what they're doing in investing from somewhere around this country. Today, we're going to be in the Salt Lake City, Utah market. And again, Keith, it's wonderful to have so many people on from around the country. I heard you talking about the different cities, and I think you bounced from the East Coast to the West Coast to Midwest. So you're kind of covered everything there real well. Today's featured investor, Jennifer, are you able to jump out and come on out? We'll highlight Jennifer there. We'll get to see her.
Hi, everybody.
There she is. Well, Jennifer, this is really a privilege for you to be on our show, for you to have actually be out here. We thank you for doing that. We're very honored that you took time out. I know you got maybe a house full of people today too, which is kind of cool. You got contractors working. I love
This is a flip in action.
That's right. I love when contractors are working on the weekend and getting things done. That's really cool. So we understand there might be a little bit of noise in the background and might be some people kind of moving around and things like that. But that's all part of doing real estate. So.
That's right.
You know, folks that attend these property tours, a lot of times they're guests. They're people kind of checking everything out and seeing, what this community is about and what real estate investing is all about. And so it's really nice to share a little bit about you, about your story, kind of your background and you kind of a little bit of your journey. And then, why did you get into real estate investing? And it's always nice for people online to hear how you found our community and what was it about it that was like, hey, I want to be a part of this. And I know that I found this community back in 2015. So I'm coming on my 10-year anniversary. I can't even say anniversary, excuse me. And you're 2016, right?
Yep.
So you're right there after me. So why don't you come on out and tell a little bit about your story and we'll kind of go on mute here and let you do your thing.
All right. Thank Thank you so much, Scott and
Thank you.
Keith. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share this amazing property that we have here in our Salt Lake City market. So, years and years ago, I actually was on the planning commission for a local city here in Utah. And I was young, and that's kind of where I started to get the groove more and the excitement about real estate investing, because I got to see all of the development part and how the rules work and getting permitted and variances and all of those things. And I was also raised in a family where my dad was a developer and also a mortgage broker back in the day. And so kind of everything is that something happened with my life, sorry about that, in my family. And I had become a single parent, and I kind of wanted to do something more with my life, and I really wasn't sure. And then my ex-boyfriend came to me and said, Jen, you know what? You're one of my greatest friends and I love you, and I want you to have the life that you've always wanted and leave a legacy for your children and create something different, and also have the opportunity to impact other people in a positive way. And I was like, okay, sure. So I went to a meeting and I was like, yeah, this is a great thing. It's kind of up my alley. Even though I've been in healthcare my entire life, I'm a board certified clinical chaplain as well as a mortgage broker now. And so I was like, okay, let's do this. And the thing that I loved about what he introduced me was the community. There is not just people who are here doing investing and you have someone to teach you all the things that protect you, which is most important, but they're like family. So after I joined the community, I got some deals going and started moving and shaking and things. And then I had a stroke after an accident on a humanitarian trip. And so I had to learn how to do everything again, from walking, talking, eating, not burning my house down when I cooked, and driving, and the whole thing. And so I stopped investing for a while because I really couldn't. But the community and my biker community were the ones who came in and helped me every step of the way. So not only are they like my family, they're also like my teachers and my mentors. And so every step of the way, you have people here to support you and guide you, and the experts from all around the world who make zillions of dollars, because all of the people that you know that are millionaires that you see on TV or even in your own communities, they know how to invest wisely. They make their money from passive real estate because it's a secured asset. And so I was absolutely empowered to do something like that so I could leave a legacy for my children, especially being a single parent. And then years later, my husband, I got remarried, and my husband, 6 weeks after we got married, got diagnosed with cancer and subsequently passed away. And I lost myself after dealing with all that. And it was right after COVID and all of those things. And again, here comes my biker community and the Renatus community stepping up. They're the ones who brought me food. They're the ones who comforted me. They're the ones who sat with me when I cried. They're the ones who came and helped me with my housework and my meals and everything. So it's not just about this. And so that was something that was very powerful to me. And they continue to show up every single day in my life. So that's kind of my story.
Yeah, so um, I'm kind of speechless right now. You've got a huge story. And you've obviously had a few little bumps along the way in the road, and you've come through each of those, which is just amazing and very inspiring, Jennifer. I know that's everybody has a story, and so it's cool that you shared yours, and you're doing real estate, and you're a part of our community. And I just saw you, what was it, last month? Yeah,
Last month.
just last month. Yeah.
In person.
Right. We had our national conference in Salt Lake City, and we had quite a few people that attended from all over the country. And we got to mastermind and spend time together and learn from some of the top investors in the country. So that was really cool. So let's talk a little bit about today's deal. So, this particular strategy, fix and flip, okay, is a strategy a lot of people really like it. It's kind of cool. It's kind of sexy. It's fun. You get to go in and you take something and you get to make it just absolutely beautiful.
Right.
And each house, each structure, each deal is different. It's not cookie cutter. Every fix and flip is different, and different challenges and different surprises. Um, if you're a person who does not like surprises, maybe fix and flip is not quite the way to go.
That's
Uh,
right.
yeah, and but what we do is in our community. You talked about our community. Through our education and through our relationships in the community, we learn how to mitigate those surprises, how to mitigate the risks,
Right.
and that's what's so important, because we are all going to have those surprises, and we're all going to, have some mistakes along the way. But the goal is to have minimal mistakes,
Yeah.
and that's why we have such great mentors and great trainers that teach us the right way to do it. And
Yeah. Hey,
so
Scott.
let's talk a little bit. Yeah, go ahead,
I know, I
Keith.
know, I know we want to talk about that property, and I'm really anxious, but there was a couple of nuggets in her story. I just want to just highlight
Sure.
because I'm always about catching nuggets, right? And so one of the things a lot of people are here to try to catch nuggets, right? So one of the things that when I was hearing about her story is that life was lifing. Like, because some people, I don't know that, that's a phrase that people use, life was life. And so I just want to just ask the people who's online right now, do y'all even understand what she was talking about, how she was, going through life, things happened, she rebounded, people came around her, supported her, life was happening, people came around her. So when people are looking, I don't know about for y'all, but for me, when I was looking to do real estate investing from the very beginning, it was about the numbers. I heard about passive income. I heard about, but what I was looking for, people that I can be around to help me. It wasn't just
Yep.
a real estate investment. We start that way, but when life is life, and I'm yes, people are actually saying yes, life is life, right? And so what they're looking for, and I think what I found, Scott, what you found, Jennifer, and you just shared with us what you had found that yes, you came here for real estate investing, but you found more. You know,
Absolutely.
Scott was talking about it was education. And we saw each other at nationals come together to support each other. And you got a house full of people that you're going to show us here pretty soon. And so, as Scott was talking about, as you about to talk about this property, I guess you're going to talk about how you found it, what was, what made you move forward, and people are still putting in there, life is life, and the community is priceless. If you don't mind kind of like walking us through that, because again, there's some people here like, you know what, I understand exactly what she's talking about, but I
Sure.
want to know, how did she get started?
Sure. So is it okay if I share my
Yeah,
PowerPoint?
that would be awesome.
Okay. Okay. All right. So here's my property tour. And I'm also a mortgage broker and a real estate investor. And so with my dad got me into mortgages. He's been doing it his whole life. And so through this process of being a real estate investor, I was able, to get into investing in a different way than I even thought possible. And I explained a little bit about how I got into it. And these are the reasons how I got in and why I stayed in. So the picture in the middle is my ex-boyfriend, one of my dearest friends, Craig Smith. He's the one that introduced me to Renatus. And then up in the left-hand corner, you see our first flip challenge, some of the screenshot from them from our community. The bottom left is when we had our nationals last month, and I was on a panel on stage with some very, very successful people, and I felt kind of like an imposter syndrome on that. And up on the right-hand corner is one of my dearest friends and one of my real estate agents, Sandra Holiday. We started a women's real estate investing networking group here in Salt Lake City, and she has been instrumental in keeping things going with me. And then I have my first flip challenge teammates on the bottom, and we work so well together in creating deals and really making this program work. And then you can see my title company, my real estate agent for this house, and the designer. And then the middle picture is Richard Stock from our community, who has always been there and inspiring. He's such a great man. And then, of course, the founder of our community, Bob Snyder. And I just absolutely couldn't be here without them. Then how and reason why I do some of these things is because of my dad. He got me into this years and years ago. Middle picture is my crazy family with my mom and stepdad, and then my dad and my stepmom. But the biggest reason why I do what I do is for my family, because I want to leave a legacy for them. I want to leave a life so that they don't have to worry about things ever again. I want to buy them a house, and I want to have them just enjoy life and do what they love doing instead of having to do something. So how I got this deal was I got it from one of my real estate agents, Jill Jones. She's the designer for this house as well. She referred the client to me, the seller. They had inherited this property from their grandparents when they passed away, and the house had been vacant on and off for about 4 years. And then when the grandparents died, he left the house to them. They did not realize that when we pulled title to look at it, because they came to me to see if they could buy the property or finance the property for themselves to own it as their primary residence, or to get it into a rental property as a DSCR. And as we pulled title, they realized that there was about $120,000 worth of liens that they really didn't know about on them. And they didn't have the money to pay for them. They were stressed about it. They were getting sent to foreclosure on the HELOC that the grandparents had, as well as some other things. And so they wanted to figure out a way to do it. And the property was absolutely not habitable. It had years of water leaks, knob and tube, electrical. They had broken pipes. There was black mold. It was not up to code. It was not safe. It was a disaster. And so I was like, well, let's talk about some different options. And it originally was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a 2-story, about 1950 square feet. And they were exhausted and they were frustrated after trying to come up with different kinds of solutions on what to do and how to come up with money and to negotiate with the bank and all of those things. And they had been hounded by other real estate investors who were actually really rude and demeaning and pushy, and they were just like over it. And so I gave them some different options of what we can do, and that's on the next slide. But eventually, they decided that they wanted to sell it to me. So I bought it for $160,000. And so they were able to pay off all of their liens at closing and actually get some money back. And so how can I help people? So one thing that I can do is, or that I try to do, is if I can refinance it into the owner's primary residence, can I refinance it into a DSCR rental so they can have cash flowing? Do we sell the property as it is? Do I teach them how to invest and keep it for cash flow, which is what I was trying to do? I wanted to teach them how to do what we do so they could keep the house, so they could keep it in their family and have cash flow and all of that. And then it just creates that ripple effect. But they were so frustrated and they just said, no, let's just sell it. Or could I buy it myself as an investor, which I did, or offer some other creative solutions that I've learned through the education in our community. And so we were talking about invigorating and what my goals are, and the community around here in this city, they're trying to reinvigorate it and change it and make it nice. Because years ago, you would not want to live in this area. It was kind of scary. It wasn't kind of scary. It was scary.
Jennifer,
But now you can see this is just maybe 500 yards from our house, where they're invigorating and changing and revamping the whole entire landscape of the city. So they've got these beautiful murals there within a couple of blocks of the house. They have these really cool, quaint little coffee shops and restaurants and little offices. And within a quarter mile, you can walk to a gas station. Top Golf is right down the road. You've got grocery stores and shopping centers and restaurants and all these really cool things. And so they're really invigorating the area. And that's what I wanted to do. So this is the house that I bought. And so when I drove up, I was like, oh yeah, it's going to need some help.
hey, Jennifer, I got a couple things I just want to ask you just real quick.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot of people in there, so I try to speak up. So you dropped a humongous nugget, and I want to make sure that everybody actually captured that what you just talked about. And what I'm saying is, as a real estate investor, the things that we learn how to do is solve problems. And what you just showed was you was thinking you have your why, but as you was looking at this, what was being presented to you, it was inherited property. It had, liens on it. It had maintenance. It was need to be updated to, I guess, what we call today's code, right? And so you was thinking about how to help that family keep that property. And so you kind of went through your list. And the only way you can kind of go through that list is one, you learned how to do it because you just went through a lot of what we call exit strategies. And so I'm gonna pause for a second just to let people know because I know as we kind of moving through, some people want to know what I want to know how to do that. I want to learn how to do that. And so what I
Yeah.
would say is go ahead and contact the person who invited you to this meeting because Jennifer's about to just lay some more nuggets, and I may not be able to get jump in there to kind of pause for a second. Just tell them, hey, I want to get connected. I want to understand just how Jennifer did it. I want to understand how she learned. I want to understand how Scott learned. I want to know how Keith learned. So I just want to just let people know how did they do that? Contact the person who invited you to this meeting. And that way they can get plugged in because you're about to show us some really awesome things as you about to show this house. So I just want to make sure that people understood that. And then go ahead and put in the chat your questions because if you wait too late, we may not get to it. And as so I want to make sure that I'm going to be watching the chat as Jennifer's about to show us about this house and blow our socks off, Jennifer. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So one thing that there's a misnomer and people have this misconception about real estate is that you have to have all this money to be able to buy a house and you have to have this and you have to have that. And what about this? Well, I thought that I was one of those people. I never would have known how to do all of these things unless I learned how to do it the right way. Because if you don't know how to do it the right way, when you see pictures of this house, you will go, oh my honk, where do I start? I don't even know what to do. So learning about what to do, how to do it, what's legal, what are different options is really important. And so I bought this property with none of my, well, $561 of my own money because I paid for the inspection, but the rest of the property, I paid no money out of my pocket, none. And at the closing of this, I will still put in no money, and I will make over $150,000 as projected on my profit, which is outstanding with none of my own money because what I learned in this community is how to leverage other people's money, other people's time, other people's credit, other people's resources, etc. And we just came together and I just pulled out like my friends, I called family, I called some of my other investors and said, hey, I've got this great property. Would you guys like to be part of it again? Because I've used them before to be equity partners where they put in some of their money and they get a percentage of the equity when we close or when we refinance or when we sell, whatever that looks like. And then I used hard money as well for a portion of it so that I had some debt as well as some equity. And that's a strategy that I learned to help protect myself if there's ever an issue, as well as to protect my money partners, because I always want to look out for the whole big picture of everyone that's coming together. So with this property, you can see kind of what it looks like. And this is about 3 weeks ago what it looks like now. So you can see we've done a lot of changes, a lot of updating, but wait till you see the rest. So it's pretty awesome. So there's multiple strategies that I can use. And when people say you can get into real estate with no money, it really is true. The money that you put in is your time and your education and learning and resources. But really seriously, it's like a well-oiled machine once you get started. So any other questions before I start moving through things, Keith?
No, you really brought up some good points because when we talk about preparing, you learn
Yeah.
and then you start to do and then you start to implement. And that's why I like about this community because you learn and you implement. And
Right.
some people just, well, I just want to jump right into it and learn once I get into it. You may make a lot of mistakes that's not in your
And it
best.
will cost you. I did that with one of my first investments, and I lost money on it because I didn't do the things that I should have. So it was a lesson learned. I won't do that again. But I'm
Yeah.
sure there'll be things that pop up again in the future too. So it's just a learning thing. But you have a community and education to help you. So with flipping, you need to make sure that you have an excellent contractor, an excellent designer. You have to have hard money, some private money. You've got to have resources for all of your subs. You've got to know the community. You've got to know the guidelines. And hey guys, but you can see that there's a lot of steps. So we filled, I think that we ended up filling like 5 of these great big huge dumpsters because the house was filled with stuff. And then we demolished everything. And so you can see there's the carport here, the old one on the middle, and then the new carport colors and windows and everything coming in on the right. This was what the kitchen looked like when we first bought it. And these are some of our first flip challengers and the owners in the house. You can see some of the pictures in there. Then you can see this was a little office space in the back nook of the kitchen. And then the middle picture is the adjacent room from the kitchen they used as a little dining room. And then on the right is the living room. Then this picture on the right is the master bedroom, and it seriously only fit this queen size bed and a dresser. And then they built in this walk-in closet right next to it. So it was really small, outdated. There was black mold everywhere. It was awful. And then on my favorite picture is this picture on the left. So they had cut out the floor and created stairs to go into the basement. And this is the washing machine. And right behind the washing machine was the circuit breaker for the whole house. So there was water lines right next to the circuit breaker. It was awesome. And these stairs were seriously maybe 2.5 feet wide. And they were just built on 2x4s and stuff. So it was crazy. And when you walked down, it was awful. And then when you got to the bottom, you would hit your head because the beams for support for the basement were there. It was awful. And then you can see the hallway up there. And then on the right is the old master bathroom. You know, don't you love those old glass things that people had? But it was so awkward because seriously, there's like 1.5 feet space between the vanity to get into the back to get into the shower. It was just awful. And the floor there was mold and it was not good.
Yeah, for a second, I thought those were a mirror that was laying on the floor, and I didn't realize that was stairs to a basement. So thank you for clarifying.
Stairs to a basement. It was crazy, Keith. It was crazy. And then at the bottom of the stairs was a little teeny family room and there was black mold just everywhere. And the carpets were still wet from the pipes leaking. And the house had been vacant since last September. And then I closed on this house on March 13th. And then the middle picture is the bedroom adjacent to it. And you can see on the bottom of the floor by the closet, you can see the black mold up on the trim on the base. And then the far right picture is a picture facing from that living room on the left down the hallway. And then you can see there, that little hallway room, this room on the left was his little office space, and he was a collector of stamps. And there were thousands and thousands and thousands of stamps and sorted and just miscellaneous crazy stuff. And then you see there's the dryer because the washing machine was upstairs, remember? And this was the dryer underneath the stairs next to the bathroom.
So you washed your clothes upstairs, dropped the clothes through the hole to the basement.
Yes.
Just dried them in the basement.
Crazy. And this was like a little old couple, you know, in their 80s having to do that. Manage those. I just don't even understand. Ugh. And then on the right side, you see the basement bathroom and you can see the mold and just, it was awesome.
But they had a fan on the dryer so they didn't get hot while they were doing drying their clothes.
They
Oh,
improvised very well.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
All right, and then the back room through the end of the hallway, this was all their storage, and there was black mold everywhere. There was dead things. It was awesome. So this is the basement area.
So
So
Jennifer,
then after that, we start the demolition. So you can see that we tore down everything to these studs. And we had to take out, like in the kitchen picture on the left, you can see the black mold and all of the old insulation and stuff. Behind that, it was all black and wet and awful. And then you can see in this middle picture is that bathroom. So we took everything out of there. And then on the right-hand side is another picture of the kitchen. This is the downstairs after we started taking everything down. And the picture on the right is the old bathroom. Then you can see that we decided I decided I wanted to move some things around in the basement. So we actually moved the water heater. We flipped around the furnace so that everything would be accessible up to code, as well as we could utilize the space where all the things were to create more bedrooms and a family room. So we had to dig into the concrete to move all the plumbing around. Thank heavens for my team. They're great. They studded out, built out new rooms. It was awesome. The long picture on the top is the master bedroom upstairs. So we took out all of the walls. We put up a new support beam. We took out all the sheetrock and created a brand new area. And then the area where the stairs and the washing machine were upstairs, where the circuit breaker and the plumbing was, we covered that up, took all that out and made that a new walk-in closet. And then the bottom picture on the middle is us demoing the kitchen. And then there's me in the bathroom because I actually come in and do things once in a while. Oops, sorry, my contractors. Oh, and all of my motorcycle friends are arriving. Sorry. So you can see I actually was doing some work in the property. Then after that, you can see a little bit of how we started doing some things. We got the outside painted, updated the paint, gave it a little pop, so it's got some really great street presence, and you'll be able to see some amazing stuff. So the top left picture is they have a back patio, and we painted and got all that looking nice. So it's got fans and lighting and electrical, so they can have barbecues out there, sit out and read a book and have a wonderful time. And then the bottom left is the master bedroom, bathroom upstairs. It's not a white thing on the top. It's all black. It's beautiful with the white inside. And then you can see the new shower insert that we've got going. And sorry about the motorcycle noises. Then you've got the left picture here is the new master bedroom. We added some wainscoting and a pop of some neutral colors on there. It looks skinny, but it's just the picture, but it's really a beautiful, huge master bedroom. They'll be able to put a king size bed, nightstands, a dresser, have a little sitting area, a reading nook, a chaise lounge, whatever they want. It's going to be great. And then there's the new walk-in closet that was over the stairs. And this top left picture is the new dining room area with the wainscoting and some new lighting, and we added can lighting all throughout the house. The bottom left is in the living room. We moved the stairs from that crazy place where it was, and we put the stairs in the living room. So we cut out some space that was behind the door that was really not usable and made the stairs, and they're nice and wide. So you can actually get large pieces of furniture down there. You can actually walk down multiple people. It's a really beautiful area. And then we're going to put a railing up, have that coat as well. Then the picture on the right is the new bathroom for the basement. I love that shower. It's huge and it's walk-in. It's just gorgeous. And the tile work is just beautiful. It's stunning. It's upgraded. It's so nice. And then this is the picture on the left. It looks small, but it's not. At the bottom of the stairs, this is the new family room down there. And then the back left corner, you see some pipes coming out because we're putting a little kitchenette in there so they can have like a bar or what have you down there. And then a picture of one of the bedrooms downstairs. I'm not a great photographer, but we made this 2-bedroom, 2-bath house into a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. So do you want me to go into numbers yet, or does anyone have any questions?
So actually, this is awesome. People saying, they love the bathroom floors. So if we can kind of like walk through the property and then we'll come back and then ask
Okay.
more questions, kind of going forward. And as we,
Okay.
so you can stop sharing there so that we can walk through the property with.
Okay.
It's not as we do this transition. Let me make sure, and I know as we get to get ready for here. Uh,
Okay. I'm gonna go grab my phone
yep,
and
go ahead.
you guys actually get to see the property real time. So I'll go grab that real quick.
Awesome. And so, Scott, let me go ahead and pull you up as we get ready for this transition. It's really interesting just to hear her story and like that basement and the mold and is, I'm gonna ask you, like most people will just stop, right? They were like, no, this is I won't do that. But it sounded like she had a lot of confidence. Did you hear that in her voice as she was like, oh yeah,
Yes,
we
absolutely.
can do that?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Keith. A lot of people would have really double taken a double take or double, thought on that whole process of do I get involved in this or not?
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
fact, I mean, this is more than just a lipstick project. This was a full rehab.
It was a full rehab down to studs.
Yeah.
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 Hey Jennifer, you have your background screen on, so if you're gonna show something, it may be hard to see. So you're gonna have
Okay. Let's see.
and then you're gonna have to
How do I do this?
turn down your computer on the volume on your computer there.
Right.
Okay.
But you're right, Scott. There would be a lot of people who would just like, freeze and like, nope, I pass. I'm not going to do it. This real estate investing thing is too hard. I'm going to keep doing my thing and not achieve some of the goals that I want in life. And that's really what it gets down to it. But it sounds like, by learning, right? The community that she's talked about that helped support her. And, she met, not only, the CEO, but she also, you know, she was involved in the process. She took action to learn. And I'm hearing a lot of that, which is what we call part of the success cycle, right? To be able to do things. So what about yourself?
Okay, let me get my video fixed.
Awesome. So I think we got some questions starting to come in. So let's look here. So it looks like there was a lot of work. How long did it take to do all the repairs?
So we started, well, I closed on March 13th at 2 o'clock. My demolition crews started at 2:05. The next day it was totally demoed. And from March 13th to now, this is where the status is. And I don't know how to change it so that, oh, background and effects. There we go. Sorry. I am not, oh, there we go. Okay. I am not a person, a computer person at all. So this started on March 13th is when we closed at the title company at 2 o'clock. At 2:05, my demo guys were here. I'll start outside. And
Hey,
we
Jennifer,
filled up at least.
can you do one thing for us? Can you turn your phone sideways so that way we can have a full view?
Better?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So they came in and they demoed everything. And from March 13th till what's today, the 26th, April 26th, they've done all of this. So you walk in and this is the living room. Yeah. And there's the new stairs. We don't have the railing on yet. So put in all we put in new lighting fixtures. You can kind of see all of the, I don't know if you can see very well. And we wanted to keep some of the charm because this area is that way and this house is, we wanted to keep the arched, I figured it out. Thank you. Thank you. We wanted to keep kind of the arched ceilings and stuff. Then you walk into the kitchen. So now the kitchen is all demoed, cleaned up, nice. So here we're going to have our cabinets and countertops to the ceiling cabinets as well. We're going to have a beautiful light in here. We're building in a pantry here. The stove and the fridge will be here, and we're having a beautiful domed hood over the top with cabinets. I wanted to keep some of the original charm of the house, so we kept the little cabinets here, and they've got the glass on top of there, so you can put in your china, tchotchkes, what have you. This area right here was where that little teeny little nook off of the kitchen was that they used for an office, and we filled that in, and so we could make it a beautiful, nice master bedroom. And then it's got a nice entrance from the side. And then we're also putting in here a beautiful island right here in the middle as well. So this is the kitchen. Then from here you can walk, and there's my beautiful designer and my real estate agent, Jill Jones. So then you walk in here, and here is the bathroom. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you all of this stuff. I know the tub is amazing. I love it. I love the vanity. I love it. So I love how the tub is just gorgeous. Pictures in here, you can't see it well. No. And this beautiful bathroom, this shower is just phenomenal. And you close it so it's like this. It's awesome. And I love it. It's a really nice pop. And then the toilet will be here. And then we'll put the vanity in here with, beautiful mirrors and all that fun stuff. So this is now. Keep these for extra storage as well. This is where that old door was to go downstairs with the washing machine here. So
Jennifer, I think we may be frozen on your video because I'm still seeing the bathroom.
Oh,
okay. We caught
you're
up.
frozen on my bathroom?
Yep, we caught up now.
Oh, you're caught up now? Okay. These old houses don't have great Wi-Fi, and I'm on my hotspot. So here's the nice, huge master bedroom. So before, you would just walk in and it ended right here. And then you had the walk-in closet. So now you come in, and it's this nice, large, great big, huge master bedroom where you could put king-size bed, sitting area, chairs, the whole thing, which is amazing. Then in here is the new walk-in closet with built-ins, so plenty of closet space. I love it so much. Brand new windows all throughout. Can lighting, beautiful, beautiful. Any questions so far?
No, people are actually saying that, it's beautiful. We can see there's a lot of light coming through. They love the flowers. This is really awesome.
Awesome. Thank you. And I love this huge window here in the front that just brings so much light in. And then you can see it's still got the beautiful arch. And so you can have some beautiful artwork there. It's just phenomenal. I love it. So here's the stairs. Just watch me go careful. So they're huge. Two people could walk down this by. When I come down to the bottom of the stairs, you can't see it really well, but this is going to be the family room with the kitchenette over here. And all new windows, all new lighting, nice little nook here. So you can have a beautiful, huge, big screen TV on that wall. And then you have your couch here, a nice, beautiful chair, lounging area, and your little kitchenette bar. And the ceilings are tall. I mean, I can't even touch them. So for a basement, they're pretty decent size, except for the venting, which we couldn't move. This is all the new furnace, all the new water heaters, everything up to date. This here was an old fireplace. You can see some of the old venting and stuff in there. So we didn't move this. That would have been a special spirit option to do, but we didn't do that. So we just moved all of this, got everything all updated and new plumbing. And you can see in the floor where we have the concrete for new plumbing. And then this is the view of the family room from the. Okay, I'm trying to go so you guys get sick. Then here's the hallway. Then here's the breaker. Then here is the new bathroom. Sorry, it's still a mess. We're under construction still. Beautiful tile.
You're freezing up quite a bit.
Yeah, I think,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm in the basement. Crap.
Yeah.
Am I freezing still?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
catch
your pictures.
Can you see?
Yeah, we see the bathroom now.
Okay. So here's that beautiful bathroom. It's the whole length of the bathroom. So it's bigger than a regular tub would be, obviously. And then we have beautiful rain, full sliding doors. And then it'll have a vanity and a tub in here. I mean, not a tub, a toilet.
So is that a
Okay, then you
sliding
walk,
shower
continue
door,
walking
or
down.
is that a shower panel or a shower door that slides?
So it's going to have another one here that slides on it, but
Okay.
this one's fixed, and then this one well another one's going to be there to slide. Kind of like a barn door option.
Yeah, I've not seen that look before.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah.
And then you walk down, and here's the proper laundry room. Nice and big. And then we have cabinets and stuff here for them as well, all storage. This is at the bottom of the in the old design. This would have been the family room, and this is now a nice big bedroom. That's a beautiful copper. You can see it with this. All new windows.
You're
nice
still freezing up, Jennifer. You're still freezing up a lot down there. Sorry.
Okay, maybe I should come back upstairs.
Yes, I think we got a good feel for the basement. It's good to know that they don't have to do their washing upstairs and their drying downstairs anymore. They can do it all together.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it really, really nice.
Well, you've really turned that house into something special from where it was.
Thank you. Oh, look, here's my dad. He's actually in town from Texas. So you got to see pictures of him on my presentation, and here he is in real life.
Real life.
Real life.
There you go.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll come off my phone now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm back.
Yes, you are. So yeah, what an amazing transformation there, Jennifer, and
Thank you.
and all the value you added to the property by going from 2 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms, and the house does look more spacious even than it did before, and of course, the full basement that you've completed really adds a lot of value to that property.
It does, very much so. Yeah, because before the valuation would have been maybe 225 valuation, maybe the way it was, but then we put in $120,000 of rehab. Was my budget. We're under budget right now, which is great, and we're under timeline. We're probably we had a little issue with getting cabinets in. They were supposed to be here a couple weeks ago, and they're not. If we would have had cabinets in, we would have been able to list the house today. So those are some of those hiccups that you have when you plan on things that don't follow like what you want to in the real world. It doesn't always happen that way. So that was one of our hiccups that we have. But otherwise, my contractor has been phenomenal, and my designer, Jill, who's also my real estate agent. She helps me with project management, and between all three of us, we make things happen. So I love it. And so the appraised value after we get it completed is probably about 513. So our ARV will be that. So if you consider, and I'll show you my numbers. Do you want me to go back to my slide?
Sure. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Let me go back to my slide. And then you guys can actually see the numbers, and then you won't be going, yeah, whatever. Because it's real. All right. So here's the numbers for you. So back, these are some of the comparables that I ran. I did more than this as well, and I had my real estate agent, Jill, pull these numbers for me as well. So the buying costs, so there's multiple costs that you incur when you're getting a property, whether you're going to fix and flip it, fix and hold it, or whatever. For this particular scenario, these are my costs. So when you go to the title company, when you buy a home, you obviously have to pay title insurance and all of those costs. Then with my equity partners. So my equity partners, what that means is I went to some of my friends and my family and presented them with an investment opportunity. Hey guys. With an investment opportunity again, because they've invested with me before, where this time they're going to be getting 120% return annualized on their investment. And because we're ahead of timeline, we're below costs, the way that I purchased and negotiated the deal, as well as some other things that we're doing with the property, they're going to be getting a really great rate of return. And so that's what I'm paying my equity partners. Then my lender fees, those are like hard money costs, points, miscellaneous kinds of things like that. Then you always want to have an attorney review all your documents, make sure you've got your LLCs and however you decide to set up things correctly so that you're protected as well as everyone else involved. And then for this deal, I had some other investors who introduced me to this new hard money lender. And so because they sent me the referral and it turned out I always pay it forward, so I paid them a broker fee for the referral. Then the inspection was $561. That's the only money I put into this myself. All the other ones are included in the loan. And then I paid my project manager $1,700 for the designing, project management, etc. For that. Then when we sell the property, the real estate agents commissions will be around $25,000. And then to do staging will be about $1,000. And staging means the house is going to be furnished in different ways so people can envision themselves. Oh, this is what this room could look like. Oh, that looks really nice. I can see myself there. And staging is absolutely imperative when you're doing real estate. It really is. And so when your real estate agents tell you that, it's the truth. So, I mean, you guys walk through the property by itself right now, empty. So you can kind of see what the potential is. But when you see furniture, you know that a family's there. And then the next one is you always have to pay your taxes. So these are called our holding costs. So you pay your property taxes. And then when you get an investment property and it's vacant and they're doing work on it, you have to pay for hazard insurance. And hazard insurance when you're doing a flip is a little more expensive than when you're actually just the primary homeowner because there's more risk. You know, someone can get hurt, things can get broken into, an accident could happen, a fire could start when you're doing new stuff, whatever. So your insurance is a little high. And then you always have to pay your utilities because your contractors need electrical and water and gas and all those things while they're doing your project. And in order to, like, if you're doing mudding to get the mud dry, they got to crank up that heat. When you're painting, they want to crank up that heat because they want things to be dry fast because you want to be able to close faster and get your project done quicker. And they have an incentive because I pay my staff a bonus if we get done before timeline and costs are under budget. So my total rehab cost estimate is about 120,000. So the total with my rehab costs, all my purchasing costs, all those things together, uh, is, and then you take away all of your costs from what you think you're going to sell the property for, because I'm doing a flip on this one. So my possible profit is $153,924 off of a $561 investment of mine.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
Right? So can I hear a heck? I want everyone to say holy honk, because
It's like
that's agenda's. So holy honk.
but you know what? That's really awesome, and thank you for sharing that
You're
because as
welcome.
you was talking through this, right? Because a lot of people just want to get straight to the numbers, right? But what you also talked about, and that's why I like to stop while people are talking about these nuggets. You didn't just get there overnight. You would life was lifing. You was learning. People were supporting. You kept moving forward because if you would
Yeah.
ever had stopped, you wouldn't be talking to us about this potential profit right in front of us.
Well, and the thing about this is people will say, oh, I just don't have enough time. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm a single mom and I have 4 jobs. I'm a hospital hospice chaplain. I'm a care manager. I'm a real estate investor, and I'm a mortgage broker. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. There's no excuses.
I agree, and again, I thank you for because there's probably another hat that you actually wear that you probably just forgot because you have so many on at one time. And then just to let you know, tell your dad like everybody was saying hi to him. So
I will.
to as you are doing this and just to see the smile on his face, to see as you know, as a father, you always, your kids are always gonna be your baby, to be able to stand there and see your baby just really, crushing it and it's really awesome. And thank you for him, showing up. And it's just really awesome as people are saying, thank you for showing your property. Thank you for
Yeah,
talking about this. Thank you for just taking your time out. And we
you're
about
welcome.
Scott, I know you want to go ahead and jump on, so I'll let you go ahead and help us get ready to close out there, Scott.
I can I show you guys the best part of the house?
What? There's more?
There's
Oh my
more.
honk. You have no idea. Wait.
Okay,
Can I show them the rest? I'm gonna take my computer out there while we talk.
that's
So
okay.
keep talking, because this is awesome.
This ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this one, Scott.
No, no, this is like icing on the cake here. So Jennifer, so you
Yeah.
started this project when?
Say that again.
When did you start this rehab?
March 13th.
And today is April 26th.
Yep.
You were able to get all that full demo done, all that rehab, all the new drywall, the new electrical, new plumbing, new windows.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm a little bit frozen myself.
Yeah, me too. So I'm like, is my calendar correct?
My
I,
team is amazing. I'm telling you.
I'm showing this video to my contractors.
Okay, go ahead.
Exactly.
Let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to turn off my background so I can use my.
Well, even if we don't get to that point, Jennifer, one of the things that we do want to do as we get ready to, because some people gotta, you got a lot of stuff going on. We don't want to hold you up.
Okay.
As we get ready to, there's some people here that was listening to your story. As Scott says, we got people from just getting started to some people who has got started, and then they want to take the game to the next level. And as you was walking through showing us this property, there's probably a couple of the things that you were thinking about that maybe you wish you would have said because they're sitting on the fence and I'm not really sure if I really want to do this. So what would you share with them to kind of like say, you know what, you probably need to take some action? What would you leave with them today to kind of like, you know what, let's do.
Oh. So first thing that I would say is that I was a single parent and I wasn't really making great money back then, and but I needed something different. And so when I went to the presentation and I learned about everything, I was like, I can't afford that. And that was my mindset, saying, I can't afford, instead of saying, how can I afford this? What are options? And in within the first 4 months of me starting and actually putting action after I was learning what to do here, I had paid for my education 4 times over. So the cost of it made, I can't even tell you how much money and security it has made me. And that little teeny investment, there's ways to do it. Seriously, it's like, what is your time worth? What is your life worth? What is your retirement worth? Because really, I didn't have any retirement really. I had some 401k for my jobs and stuff, but what was that going to do for me? It really wasn't going to do it. And so trust the process. This really is real. If anyone knows me, they know that I am a straight shooter and I'm honest, and I actually am over honest sometimes. But this truly has changed my life. It's changed people's lives that I've introduced it to them. My sister and my sister-in-law and my brother are joining me. We're getting their kids involved in it. My nephews are getting involved in it. My neighbors are, some of my biker friends, because they see the value and they want to make a change in the world and in themselves. And the return on investment, seriously, you can do it if you put the action in. It's so worth it. It's changed my life. I can never tell Bob Snyder thank you enough. I can't. There's just no amount of gratitude I can do.
Well, Jennifer, that's a great way to wrap up today. And this has been a fantastic property tour. I'm still a little numb right now, thinking the timeline and what you were able to get accomplished. And you've added so much value to that property. And we didn't even see the little icing on the cake outside, even though you're trying to get out there with your laptop right now.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can. What is it?
So this is a three-car garage
Yes.
that the two sides here of the garage have been turned into the most amazing shop in the world. It has its own breaker system. It has its own lighting and heating. It's got its own doors. It's got, you can't really see because I've got all my construction material in here, but along the walls, it's got electrical outlets everywhere, workbenches. It's got mills and lathes and all that trim and woodwork and working benches and all this stuff. You can see that there's a ton of stuff in here. But like this is like my dream. So when I went and saw this property, I was like, oh my gosh, I could put my mill there, I could put my lathe there, I can put my saw here, I can do all my stuff here. Oh my gosh, I'm going to do this and that, because I was thinking maybe I want it for myself, right? Or keep it for my kids. And then this is the garage. And we put in a new garage door, all that. It's still got my construction material, like it's still a mess. But seriously, you can still park your car in here. And then the carport, hold on one second. Then in here, it's got storage.
Yeah.
All crazy. I know. And then back here, I don't know if you can see with the stuff, but there's a nice big garage door, the new garage door, and then great big huge carport. And there's my car.
Well, Jennifer, this has been a fantastic property tour.
Good, thank you.
We'll have to have you out on your next deal to see what amazing things you're doing with that.
Perfect. I would love that.
We want to give everybody honor, your time as well. Let everybody get back to their busy day on Saturdays, on a Saturday. But we really appreciate you, Jennifer. Thank you for sharing. And for everybody on today, like he said, reach out to Invited You and plug into more things that you can plug into. Learn more about our community and what's available. And we'll be back next week. And we hope everybody has a beautiful weekend this weekend. And God bless everybody. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Keith.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Have a great one.
Thank
All
you.
right, have a good one. See you next Saturday.
Okay.